Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to meet with me today.
Yeah, no worries at all. Thanks for having me.
No worries. So, tell me a little bit about what you do as a primary school teacher.
All right, well, so I'm in charge of the curriculum for Year 2 at my school. I've got 26 kids. Teach them the maths and the science, or very basic, but maths, science, spelling, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's really challenging at times, but it's a lot of fun. So, yeah.
So obviously, 26 different kids, 26 different characters.
Oh, yeah.
How do you adapt to the learning and
well, it's interesting. It's an interesting process. You really have to be able to address each kid in their own individual way.
Right.
Like 26 kids, you've got 26 personalities, 26 different learning styles, very, very different kids. Then no two kids are the same.
Right.
So you just really need to, be able to communicate with how they're going to be able to understand you. Yeah.
So what ways do you communicate to the class as a whole and each individual child without other people getting distracted or things like that?
If I'm trying to engage the entire class, I'll often try and be a bit more sort of lighthearted, a bit more sort of energetic and open. But if I need to get particular attentions, sometimes it may be just a firm click. Sometimes it might be sort of, just a look and making eye contact, and they know to heads down.
Yeah.
It's sort of, there's many, many different ways. Yeah.
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 So how do the kids differ from? I know you seem pretty light-hearted and quite a fun, vibrant teacher, I would assume.
Yeah, I'll try to be. Yeah.
So how do the kids know when you're being serious, or how do they know when you're in sort of an upbeat, sort of low-key mood? What difference do you create?
Well, I mean, as I said before, it's sort of, if I'm trying to get them to engage, they are young, they've got really young minds.
Right.
You do have to be more lighthearted when you're trying to, captivate the audience of the entire audience.
Yeah.
But, as I said, I only really try and maybe be a bit more stern if I am trying to sort of regain the attention of specific kids, because it can sort of snowball very quickly. So you need to be able to really act on your feet and sort of get in there, effective click or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And then, you can go back to being the lighthearted teacher type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to be very adaptable.
So adaptable, lighthearted,
yeah,
but stern as well.
Well, yeah, 100%. I mean, I try to maintain the sort of, lighthearted nature as much as I can, but sometimes it's not going to work. So you do sometimes need to turn the serious switch on, and it all works out in the end. So.
Right. So when a child does, say, misbehave, how do you approach that situation? Do you alert the parents, or do you write it in a book, or what form of communication for that child and also the parent, depending on the extreme?
Well, that's it. I mean, it's circumstantial. So I mean, obviously, kids might act out in class, but it would just be a matter of bringing them back in, bringing their attention back in, and that's fine. That kids do that.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it is more severe, that's when we do sort of have to maybe think about sort of starting to contact people outside of the classroom, whether it's sort of anyone from the deputy principal. In some cases, you do have to contact the parents if it is particularly severe. So yeah. So
between the principal and the parents, and also the child, do you find that your communication styles differ between each of them?
Oh, vastly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't address a parent the same way that you would their 7-year-old child. I mean,
of course.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But as I said before, with the child, I'll try and maintain a bit of a lighthearted sense to it. That I think that really helps.
Yeah.
I think it's really positive to maintain that. But then obviously the conversation with the parent is totally different. It's
more
especially
formal.
Well, it's more formal. Yeah, I mean, you still want to get along with them, but at the end of the day, you do have a job to complete, and especially if the child is acting out, you need to have that sort of formal sense of communication with them to effectively sort out the situation.
Right, and to effectively sort that out, it's your way of communicating that will make that situation diffuse or
absolutely
improve.
Yeah, as I said, I mean, it's all circumstantial, but overall, absolutely, sort of need to maintain a bit more of a formal sense of communication, just to really make sure that you're getting the desired result. So
the desired result is what you want.
Exactly, obviously, yeah, absolutely.
So do you think a child's behaviour differs within the environment that they are in, especially within your classroom?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're at that age where they're forming, friendships that might last for a very long time, so they get around their friends, they're excited, they're excitable, that sort of thing. And we try and keep the classroom pretty sort of fun and, lots of colours and that sort of thing. Then they're going out to play at lunchtime, things like that. It's a different environment then. Of course, they're going to be more active and hopefully tire themselves out before then coming back into the classroom. But it does differ. It does differ greatly, yeah.
Between each child, especially. And...
Oh yeah, no, 100%. As I said, this is all under the the assumption that they do have they're completely unique each kid. Yeah.
Right. So creating that warm, vibrant environment can really benefit their learning within your classroom.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, that's what I try to. At least. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today to meet with me. I really appreciate it.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me. As I said.
Thank you.
Yeah.